so that in case if you have any questions, kindly try to ask whenever it is possible. Okay. Thank you so much once again. Why is this data science matters? The first thing is at a very second, every click what you make on the website, every purchase or every heartbeat, what we are doing is we are swimming into the sea of complete information. It is not even the information, it is nothing but the complete data. Okay. And then data science is the compass that guides through this particular ocean. So we'll be seeing what is data science in a couple of minutes. But here, data scientists are modern data alchemists. They turn raw data into gold, as well as the insights that drive the business decisions, pure decisions, and then shape our future. So that means that this artificial intelligence or machine learning or data science has become into our day-to-day walk of life, and and this is what the industry is looking at. This is what the industry is looking at. So that's why, and it is not something like we turn raw data into gold. It is not only the discovery that we do, the data discovery, but it is also the art of prediction. That means that tomorrow, if you want to really understand what is the stock value that is going to be there, and then how are we going to predict this customer behavior? Like when a customer walks into the store, and then based on his behavior, or else based in case if a customer starts browsing a online shopping store, okay, based on his behavior, how exactly whether he purchased the products or whether he's not going to purchase the products, that is something that will be predicting this customer behavior, and then anticipating natural disasters. For example, we live in the state of Florida, and then we are almost subjected with huge hurricanes in the month of August, September, and October. Okay, so those hurricanes, these things can be predicted. That is what is called as the predictive analytics that we try to do. For all these particular things, what is something that is going to make it possible is nothing but your data science. This is the data science that is going to make it possible in order to, uh, it is a game changer for the future generations, basically. That's the reason we are going to discuss this one. So, along with this data science, we also have this artificial intelligence. Okay. Within this artificial intelligence, what we do here, we have seen something like self-driving cars to virtual assistants, the chat GPT, the copilot. Okay. Today, whenever you are asked to describe, whenever you are asked to write a documentation, or else when you want to create the SQL script for the purpose of designing a claims database, okay, or else you are coding something and then you went wrong. What this AI can do is that the AI can help you the place where the code has gone wrong, not only the place where it has gone wrong, but also it will correct that particular code and then make sure that your code is error free, and then it will run that particular job or the script as if nothing has happened, right? So that's what it does. So that's why this is what is AI. So that's why Elon Musk once has quoted something like, AI doesn't have to be the evil to destroy humanity, but let us harness its power responsibly. Okay. And we are going to have these three types of AI, that is think chatbots, that is the task specific case, and then machines that learn like humans, and then hypothetical, which is artificial super intelligence, which is something like smarter than us. Like when you're playing chess, or when you're trying to play the tennis or something of the sort, these things are super intelligent basically. So this is what is AI that we are going to cover. And before that one, we plan to cover this data science also, as what I have told you. Then comes the concept of this machine learning. Machine learning in the sense here you'll be able to see here, right? It's where algorithms learn the data without explicit programming. Algorithms learn from the data without explicit programming. That is something that we are going to do. Even wondered how the Netflix generates your next bingy watch? That is ML at work. This is one thing that we do. We are now this. three types of learnings. That is supervised learning, art, unsupervised learning, and then this reinforcements learning. So we are going to see what are all these particular things, not today, but in the bootcamp we are going to see. Okay, deep learning. So that's why we have seen something like machine learning. We are also have something like deep learning. So when you want to see these particular features, imagine digital brain, that is layers of interconnected neurons. That is what is deep learning. So that means that the DL applications from image recognition to natural language processing powers it all. That is what we do here. And then driverless cars. We are talking about that self-driving, okay, but auto self-drive. But here you are also having something like driverless cars are also as well. Yes, this all the futuristic vehicles, DL drives them. So this is deep learning. We have this machine learning. We have this machine learning, as well as we have this data science, artificial intelligence. All these things combine come under the category of the spectrum of data science. So that's why data science as a career. If you want to choose data science as a career, the future is yours. That is yours, North Star. What we do here, this is the demand. Just like our taste buds crave for the good taste, companies crave for the data scientists like oxygen. These these data scientists are the unsung heroes behind the data driven decisions, behind these data driven decisions. Okay, so here what we are supposed to acquire is that we are supposed to be doing some coding. Okay, we're expected to have some types of statistical knowledge that we need to have, as well as we need to learn this machine learning, as well as we need to be we need to be having a good communication to translate this data into the stories. So this that means that
Right.
the position of a the position of a data scientist is uh, totally dynamic in nature, where if you are working as a data analyst, you are focused only on writing the SQL queries. If you are focused on data engineer, you will be focused only on writing your data pipelines. If you are focusing only on data architect, you will be modeling. Okay, when all these technologies are combined together, when all these skill sets are combined together, that is the place where this data scientist career is going to be here in this case. This is the place where the data scientist career is going to be into this particular place. So I sincerely welcome you to all this particular boot camp. In this particular boot camp, we have a lot of people coming from medical background, from database background, as well as data engineering background, as well as there are people who have already been working as the data scientists also as well. So this is going to be a webinar that will be last for another 90 to 120 minutes, and then we'll be getting into this particular place. So this is what is the prologue of what exactly is the expectation that you are expecting from this data science webinar. So this is just a webinar, okay? And then we'll be discussing what is that learning path and everything we'll be discussing at the last, okay? So here there are four pillars what we are going to discuss. One is the data science. The second one is machine learning. Third one is artificial intelligence. And fourth one is deep learning. When all these four things are going to come together, we'll be talking here basically. So that's the reason the place where the Odyssey begins. Within this Odyssey, what we are going to do is that we are going to, as we sail through this webinar, remember that data science, AI, machine learning, and DL are not the just buzzwords. These are the keys to unlocking your future where possibilities are boundless. Okay. So this is a place where your journey starts now. And once again, thank you so much for taking your time to attend this particular webinar. And then let us see how it goes. So this is like never before. We are going to have this data science webinar that you are going to have here. But here, this is the thing that we are going to have here. That is, we have this data science, artificial intelligence, ML, and AI. Four things I'm going to start within four series. Four series. Okay. One is data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning that we are going to cover here in this particular place. And I sincerely welcome you to all this particular webinar, and then this is how this bootcamp is going to start with artificial intelligence, machine learning, along with this mastering of this particular data science here. Okay. Now, within this one, the agenda is going to be like this. I'll be giving you the brief introduction of webinar, which we have already covered. We're going to cover the foundations of data science, how exactly the data science is going to play a very vital role in our day-to-day activities. And then we'll be talking about this machine learning basics also as well. And including that one, we'll be talking about this artificial intelligence along with this deep learning and all those things. And we'll be talking about the learning path, what exactly is being asked here, the industry trends and job opportunities. Of course, I'm not really going to talk about job opportunities and the industry trends, but as I have already covered, companies are craving for data scientists who are nothing but the unsung heroes, unsung heroes of the total next gen technologies. Okay. And finally, we'll be having this course roadmap, what I'm going to cover. Any questions and answers if you want to ask may not be 20 minutes, but we can try to reduce that one. Finally, we'll be having this particular closing remarks. And then 13th, that is the day before, day after tomorrow, that is the place where I'm going to start the first series of this bootcamp. First series of this bootcamp here. Okay. So here, these are the three things that we need to really understand. Who is a data scientist, who is a data analyst, and then who exactly is a data engineer. These are the three things that are going to be there. Maybe we'll start with the data analyst, and everybody knows what is the role of the data analyst. The role of the data analyst is something like they need to understand the business, write the SQL scripts, and then start generating the reports and dashboards. That is what is the nature of this data analyst. And then if they are having a good statistical background, that is very much required here, basically. That's the reason a data analyst takes the data and then uses it to help the companies to make better decisions. So they collect all the data, they try to analyze the data, and then try to create these particular reports. So whoever are creating the reports using Tableau, Power BI, Cognos, Business Objects, and any other new reporting tools, these people generally what do we do is that these people are generally treated as the data analysts. They are not the business analysts. They are the data analysts because they live in and out of data basically. They live in data as well as they live out of that particular data. That's why these people are treated as this data analysts who are a technical nature, and this is the starting paradigm where they need to work with basically. This is the data analyst. Now, when we go to the data engineer, this is there are two parallel bootcamps that we are having. One is AWS, and second thing is Azure. These guys are mainly responsible for the purpose of setting up these pipelines, for the purpose of collecting all the raw data that is really required, for the purpose of collecting all the raw data that is required here, and then using that raw data, what they do is that they create these pipelines in order to convert this raw data into the consumable format. Consumable format. So one thing is that the moment once your data engineer job ends, that is the place where the data analyst job starts. That is the place where the data analyst job starts in this particular place. These are the two things that we need to understand. These are the two things that we need to understand here. Okay, so he's a data engineer. And finally, this is the place where we are having here. Who is a data scientist? A data scientist is a professional that deals with enormous structured and unstructured data and uses the skills using mathematics is required, statistics is required, and then programming is required. So for the purpose of programming, we are going to deal with Python, and for the purpose of statistics, we deal with all the machine learning algorithms that you are going to learn, and the math, the probability is something that we try to take in this particular program here. These are the three things that we see here in this particular program here. So he is a data scientist. That means that he will try to understand the hidden patterns of the data here, and then he'll be able to do some insights of that particular data. Those that we are going to see in this particular program. But before that one, let us see here what is going to happen here. So skill set, this guy should be having a data warehousing background. This guy should have both data warehousing and ETL background, but this data scientist should have this statistical, analytical, and data mining operations along with machine learning and deep learning approach they need to have. But here, the thing that we need to have is nothing but the Python coding is really required here. But data warehouse engineer is having these ETL concepts, big data concepts, and data architecture and machine learning conceptual knowledge is required, but practical knowledge is required for the data scientist here. But when you try to take this data analyst, I told you, right, he will be focusing only on this visualization dashboards, Tableau, and other things he is really good to focus. This is what is the requirement of this data analyst here in this case. Requirement of this data analyst here basically. And then roles and responsibilities anyway, we have already discussed. Data engineer, he develops, tests, and maintains architectures. Okay. But this guy, the data scientist, what you're having here, you need to have this in-depth machine learning, data integration, and anomaly detection, everything he is going to do. So he finds the hidden patterns of the data, which happens to be your unsung heroes in this particular case here. And then salary part, I'm not going to discuss here, but machine learning engineer and AI engineer is also important. What he does basically, he does this predictive analytics basically. Machine learning engineer um, closely works with the data scientist to operationalize models. For example, in 2024, I would like to forecast, okay, who is the, what is the name of the party that is going to come into ruling power. When I want to find out, then such type of predictive analytics is something that we do with the help of this machine learning engineer. He develops a lot of crazy predictive analytics models, then artificial intelligence engineer. Okay. So for example, what we do is that when we are trying to ask Alexa, can you please tell me the temperature, what is today? Or else, can you give me the weather forecast for the next couple of days, a week? So, in case when you want to ask what we are having is, it will try to convert your analog language into the digital language, and then it will predict that one using the natural language processing, and then it will connect to the internet, get all the information, and then it will try to display on the screen. That is what is artificial intelligence. They behaves as humans. That's why it is called as artificial intelligence. Machine learning engineer, they basically only do the predictions. So the level of complexity starts from data analyst, which is very simple. You turn out into the data engineer, and then you come into the role of the data scientist. You try to come into the role of the data scientist in this case, then get into the roles of the machine learning engineer, and finally, if you want to get into the mm, proper place, that is the place where the artificial intelligence engineer is expected to come up here. AI is the place where you are trying to end. And this is the place where we are going to discuss with the chatbots, ChatGPT-4, Copilot, and then generative AI. These are all the things that are going to start from this artificial intelligence. This is the ultimate thing what people are really looking into at this particular point. Okay, so when we try to look into the challenges what we are having in today's world, everything starts with the data, right? So everything starts with the data only. This is one thing that we need to really talk about. Data is something uh, that we need to talk here basically. Okay. Now, so first thing is that we are living in an instrumented and interconnected world. Okay. When we say something like instrumented and interconnected world means that everything what we are having is we are having all this uh, global environment, okay, where we are having the various devices, objects, and then all our homes and smart homes are equipped with all these sensors, communication capabilities, and data processing capabilities. Okay, these interconnected devices, what we do is that we call them as IoT devices. These IoT devices collect and exchange the data in real time, enabling seamless communication and integration. So, okay. So obviously, what we do is that every moment of our life, every moment of our life, based on what we do, without our notice also as well, what is really happening is your behavior is being recorded. your behavior is being recorded here. Okay. For example, when you go to Google and then when you try to look for some courses like AI courses or courses from Udemy or Coursera, or else you try to look into this chat GPT. But the moment once you come back to Facebook, what is really happening is all those particular ads and everything are being published on that particular Facebook. Okay. That is based on your behavior on the internet. Okay. Now, I talk to my friend and saying something like, hey, I want to learn data science. What is happening here? Unknowingly, quote unquote, what is really happening is that your voice to text is being recognized. And then tomorrow, when you go into Facebook or Google or YouTube, what is really happening is that all those related ads and everything are really being displayed on that YouTube or Facebook basically with the help of your voice to text recognition. So even you might have noticed also as well, basically. Okay. Those are all the things that are really happening with this interconnected world. And you might be having something like on Facebook also as well. There are some fake profiles that are being created on your name. And then they try to add the people. And without our notice also as well, what is being done here? Those people are really getting added into that friend list, and then what he do is that he comes to messenger and then he will ask you like, hey, this I'm in trouble, or this friend is in trouble, please send money, like such type of things are really happening. So that means that are we not really existing in such type of challenging world here right now? Yes, we are really existing here. So the source for all these particular things is nothing but your data basically. And then we're having all these complex organizations. What are all these complex organizations? Like when you try to take any company, the company will be using, for example, when you try to take the claims processing system, for that one, we have these policies. Okay. We have these claims. For policies, I use a different product, as well as for claims, I use a different product. But for finance, I use a different product. For CRM, I use a different product. That means that for each and every application, we are not trying to globalize under a single source of truth. But what we are trying to do is that we are trying to use disparate applications where there is no central command, central control of all these particular applications. That's why we are also living in all these complex organizations basically, right? And then compliance and regulations are also changing the way compliance and regulations are also changing the way to that complications here. So what are those compliance and regulations here? Basically, like you you need to follow those industry specific so here for data handling, privacy and security, what we are having is that we are having a lot of industry specific standards. Okay. In case if you, so for example, I'm telling you, I'm working in a company, okay, and I'm working with a client, a vendor. Okay. What I need to do is that I need to send some claims data or some other healthcare data or financial data to that organization. Okay. What they do is that they don't accept sending that data or the naked data directly as it is, but instead, what they expect is they expect you to encrypt that data, okay, using your SSL certifications, and then you need to SFTP that particular data to that particular portal. Why? Because why should we do all these things? Because that is my compliance and regulations that we need to follow. Okay, so that's the reason we need to follow these particular things. And then when you try to see here, you'll be having something like a sophisticated threat, as I have told you with respect to the Facebook, Instagram, okay, and then Twitter and all these particular things. What we are seeing here, we are seeing a lot of uh, threats that are going on here, right? Hackers, the social media, all the hackers are coming. People are trying to fake your profiles and then they're asking. And then not only those things, your websites are being asked. Today, when you are seeing today when you are seeing this good content, uh, today when you are seeing, today when you are seeing a lot of people on this particular media, what we do is that we try to get a lot of fake requests. Not only that one, you are having a legitimate website, you keep all your information. tomorrow when you try to open that particular website, your site is being hacked, and then what is being done is that a lot of conspiracy information is being kept, which is illegal and other things. These are all the dark cloud secrets that are really happening, right? So that's why this diverse features what you're having here is evolving into a sophisticated threat, which is nothing but your cyber security that is really coming to the picture. Sophisticated malware spreading, new infection every 3 seconds. After 1 minute, these many instances are being spread here in this particular case. Okay, and then highly automated advisories also as well. Okay, so when you want to play like these particular things also as well, what is happening? Depending on your motion sensors and all those particular things, you should be able to play. These are nothing but your smart AI programs that we generally use here. And finally, you're having this cyber security, right? Cyber security, as I have told you, right? Because of your because of your lack of the proper firewalls and everything, what is really going on? Many sites and your information, like the whole organization, the whole your life and everything is at stake. Like when you are having your credit profile, SSN, and all those particular things, they have been hacked. These are all the things that we see here. So these are all the challenges that we see in day-to-day world also as well. It's not by choice; it's by the way the how the world is really operating right now. How the world is really operating right now. This is the way that we are trying to do in this particular case. So 1 minute, and one guy is asking for. Okay, this is how we are here in this particular case. If you can give me a minute, 1 minute, what I do is that I will 1 minute, please. A very quick minute. Guy is trying to ask for some information. So here, let me share the screen. And then this is at the screen 3, and then you can share it. Okay, so we are living in such a type of challenging world. Complex organizations, data engineer looks like the happiest. You are the happiest. Yeah, complex organizations, and then you have this compliance and regulations. We have this diverse, evolving, and sophisticated threat. The malware spreading is really happening at a very greater pace beyond your imagination. And finally, you have this highly automated advisories, and then you have this change cybersecurity. These are all the things that are really going on and on and on. Okay, so now with respect to these challenges, let us see how this data science, how this machine learning and AI, all these particular things are really going to work in order to make these challenges uh, where all these particular risks are getting mitigated basically. So what is the need for this data science is something that we need to understand. What is the need for this data science? See, let us try to do it in a very interactive and gripping way here. Does the thought of your car driving the home by itself excite you? Is one question that is being asked. Then what this guy will say, is that even possible? Is that even possible? Okay. Then what happens is that that is the place where for data science comes into the picture. Okay. Data science helps in making better decisions. So the first question is something like, is a self-driving car possible? Is that even possible? And then it is saying something like making better decisions. What they will do? You mean that it will be able to take decisions like slowing down, stopping by itself, and speeding up, and all that. Then what he says is that exactly, and let the machine learn. So see here, the data science keyword is coming here, as well as the machine learning keyword is also coming here. Let the machine learn iteratively using unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning. It is not that we learn, we make the machines to learn. That is what is called as machine learning without explicit programming. Without explicit programming, we make them to learn, and then that's interesting. Then what they do here is that that particular innovation has created such type of self-driving cars will rate out more than 2 million deaths caused by the accidents annually. This is what is your self-driving car with the Tesla, and then my car is also there. Ford Mac is also there in this self-driving cars. Okay. Now, now this is the first thing here. What it is saying here, this is basically used to make better decisions, right? This is what data science is talking about. You are talking about this machine learning. Now let us see the second case scenario. You see, this is the same thing that happens. We are extremely sorry. Something like I think last month, when we are in Nashville also as well, this is the same thing that has happened. Like your flight has been delayed by 4 hours due to bad weather conditions, not 4 hours, even 10 hours also as well. Regret that inconvenience caused due to the lack of data available while flights are often cancelled. We know that one. Okay. But now, due to the improper route planning also as well, customers doesn't get the flight desired time and duration. We don't know how exactly is going to happen. Third thing what they do is that incorrect decisions in selecting the right equipment leads to unplanned delays and cancellations. So that's why planning is really important here. So, so here what is really happening is you can see here with data science, it is possible to predict such disruptions and alleviate the loss of both airline and the passenger. So here, one thing what is coming is that predictions are happening. Predictions. What is the best time to travel? Okay. What is the best time to shop? What is the best time to go get onto the highway? Okay. These are all the predictions that we need to have. So the first option, what we did is that making better decisions, making better decisions. The second thing, what you're having is something like predictions is something that we are really looking at. Okay. So what we can do here, using data science, we can achieve the following: route planning, whether the schedule, direct or connecting flights, and then predictive analytics can build to foresee flight delays, promotional offers depending on the customer booking options, deciding what class of planes to purchase for better performance. These are all the things the, that we need to make up. But who is the unsung hero behind this one? The unsung hero behind this one is not the data engineer, not the data analyst, but he's the data scientist. So for doing all these particular things, a data pipeline is not sufficient. Okay, trying to create the report is not sufficient. But what you need to have, you need to have this. You need to have this statistical programming. Okay, dynamic decision making is really required in order to. That should be the part of your life in order to make yourself or transform yourself as a data scientist here in this case. Okay, now, so logistical companies use the data science for doing these things also as well. Discover the best route to ship, the best suited time to deliver, and then the best mode of transport also as well. These are all the things that we see in and out of our life, right? So the thing is that data science is not something which is new. Okay, data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning are part and parcel of our daily lives. So that's why these are the three things for which data science is going to answer. One is it helps us in trying to take the better decision making. It helps us to do this predictive analytics, what will happen next, and then pattern discovery. What is the best route that I can do? Is there any hidden information with respect to this data? This is what the data scientist does. Data scientist. See here, many people think the data scientist, the artificial intelligence engineer, or ML engineer, these are all the people who will be having different portfolios. But a couple of things are going to be mixed for them. But this data scientist, what he does is that he will be trying to explore the hidden insights, hidden insights that might not be seen with the help of the naked eye. That might not be seen with the help of the naked eye. So hidden insights between what? Hidden insights across the data. Hidden insights across the data. What is the reason but that flights are getting delayed? Okay. What are all the reasons why he's late? Okay. What are all the reasons why these ETL programs are going slow? Okay. These are all things when we want to see in each and every application and each and every dimension. This is the place where the data scientist comes into the picture. Okay. So far, what we have done is that we have seen something like what are all the challenges that we have? Okay, as well as we also started seeing what are all the uh, applications that we do, what are all the roles, and then what is data science. Data science is something about dealing with the data, dealing with the data in all the possible ways in order to find the hidden relationships that will help us. That will help us. Like when a data analyst, what he does, he'll try to create only the reports, right? Based on whatever the information is there, he'll try to get the reports. But trying to explore, digging deep, mining the data, and then finding out the relationships that will help us to predict something in the future, that is something that we need to really take care. That we really supposed to take care. Okay, COVID has given a lot of lessons, right? COVID has given a lot of lessons. Okay, now whenever such a type of catastrophic thing that is really going to occur once again, obviously, what people will do is that people will learn. People might have learned from their past, and then they'll be able to decide what to do, what would be the best way to follow. They'll be able to understand, right? So such type of hidden things is something that the data science is uh, helping us to grow. Basically, this is what is the purpose of the data science. Okay, just like the driving cars, the self-driving cars, and then the need for this data science. See, you know one thing, right? In the last 2 years or 3 years, due to the Ukraine war that is really happening, okay, due to the Iraq and the Middle East, where they have stopped supplying these petroleum products to the major countries like US and all. What was then is that the prices of the fuel are skyrocketing, right? At that point of time, what people have decided, let us not. That is the time where we need to have an era for ending your gas cars, and then let us focus on electrical cars. There is a place where Tesla, Ford, and all the other things have started manufacturing their own cars, and then people are so much crazy about getting all those particular cars. Now, is it the situation that we have that much amount of crazy or madness is there about those cars? No, because things started settling down. Things started settling down. Okay. Now, now people will ask like when you try to take the real estate also as well, people will talk when is the time to purchase the house. Okay, there are two factors that you are having here. The houses rates are increasing, as well as its mortgage interest rates are also increasing sky high, 6.9, 7.5, like that. The prices are rising, and then they'll ask, let us wait. People have been waiting from the last 4 years, 4 years they have been waiting. 4 years back, the interest rates were around 2.5 something of that sort. Now it is not the case. It is 7. And then are does people stop buying the houses? People started buying the houses, basically. Okay. But when there are certain section of the people who will start waiting, when they will wait, whenever there is a transaction of the government, when the next elections are coming, the governments might come up with their lucrative programs like bailout packages, something of the sort. And then once the rates fall, then you can buy the house. So those predictions when you want to make right now, you have been seeing here, right? There are a lot of OPTs, CPT, MS candidates, and then there are people who are coming to US, and then job market is in a doldrum stage right now. Okay, so when we can see expecting the calls from the vendors, when can we see the positions opening up? Those are all things people will be going in their minds, right? So for all of these particular things, what happens is the history and the legacy that we have in that particular data will help us to really understand, to change our patterns and then tune our patterns also as well. That is a place where the data science is expected to help us, basically. Okay. So far, so good. In case if you think it is good, bad, or ugly, kindly post your uh, comments within the chat window. And then in case if you have any questions also as well, please post it in the chat window. So in the last 15 minutes of time, we'll start looking into those particular things. Okay. Now, once this data science is done, then what we do is that let us see here. Data science can answer a lot of questions. What are the questions? Which viewers like the same kind of TV shows? Which routes which route should make my cab take so that I can reach faster? Okay, will this refrigerator fail in the next 3 years, and who will win the elections? who will win the elections in Andhra Pradesh, India, US, and all other places also as well. These are all the things that we need to find out. And for all these particular questions, the hidden insights based on the data will help us to clearly understand the differences basically. Okay, this is data science. So here, data science, data-driven science is about asking the right questions and exploring the data. It is not asking the right questions to the people, asking the right questions about to the data. That is data-driven science. Modeling those data using your algorithms, which is nothing but your machine learning, machine learning, and then finally communicating and visualizing the results. This is what is the role of your data scientist, which is the very hottest technology that is there in the market. When I say this is the hottest technology, I'm not saying that data engineering is not hard. I'm not saying like that. But this is one of the most demanding uh, next gen thing that people are really asking. Okay. Now there are people who have been working in business intelligence versus data science. How exactly this is going to help? In the business intelligence, what we do is that we talk about the past data and the present data only. What has happened so far is only the thing that we try to do within business intelligence. But here we try to talk about past, present, and future predictions also as well. Future predictions also as well. Okay, the future prediction is: can we see Biden as the next term president, or can we see Trump as the next president, or can we see Modi, the PM Modi, to be the president for the to be the prime minister for the third consecutive time? That is what is the future. So for that particular future, we need to have these predictions that need to happen, right? They are scientific in nature, and these are only analytical in nature here. Those are scientific and these are analytical in nature. Here we only talk about the structured data that is there in the form of the tables, but here we talk about all the unstructured IoT devices and data is expected to come into the picture here. So that's why prerequisites to data science is something like machine learning is important, mathematical modeling is important, statistics, and then Python and databases. These are all the things that makes you a good disciplined data scientist, where your role is going to be prominent in the next 1 to 1.5 decade in this particular future. So tools to skills used for data science is I have told, right, you use this particular machine learning, Azure, and all those things that we use. Data analysis, we try to use this Python. Python is everywhere. Okay, we try to use this statistics also as well. Skills, Tableau, and then Python libraries. These are all the things that we'll be seeing here. Warehousing, visualization, data analysis, and machine learning. So whatever the journey you take from the data analyst to the data engineer to the data science, all those things are really going to help you in order to get into the game of this particular data science here. Now, that is what is data science. Any questions? In case if you have any questions, kindly keep them so that we'll start answering at the uh, last. Now, why machine learning? Why machine learning? Because machines can drive the cars for you, obviously, right? Machines can now detect 50, 50 types of ID series. And then using your face recognition, what you can do is that you can have the option of um, trying to unlock your phone with the help of your face. That is the face recognition that you're going to have here in this case, basically, right? So that's why we need this machine learning here. And one more thing is that nobody likes spam posts on the Facebook that annoy them into interacting with shares, comments, and all those particular things. Shares, comments, and all those particular things, right? So here, let us talk about these machines. How can they detect these eye diseases? Basically, what they do is that they'll be having something like this image analysis. What they do, so analyzing your medical images of the eyes, such as this retinal scans, okay, using computer vision algorithms to identify those abnormalities and then patterns associated with the eye devices. Okay, then what they do is that there is one one type of medical term that people use, that is something called as optical coherence tomography. They use OCT technology. They try to detect your structural changes and then the eye conditions, and then integrate with respect to your health records. Based on that one, they can tell this is the symptom, or else this is the symptom that this that patient is having. Like that, they'll try to mention. This is what is machine learning that is trying to help in this healthcare also as well. Okay. Now these things, what we do here, we try to call them as engagement bites. Okay, what they do is that they lure you, or they'll try to tempt you to like, share, and subscribe those particular things in order to grab your attention with the misleading content that prompts the users with the goal of increasing visibility in order to get that popularity. Like you see, right? In film industry, okay, this song has reached something like 50 million. This song has reached something like 100 million likes, shares, and subscribes. Okay, those all those particular things are really happening with respect to this engagement base, which are basically tips to trick the people. Basically, this tactic is known as engagement bait. The advantage algorithm by boosting engagement in order to get greater reach. To eliminate this engagement bait, the company reviewed and categorized hundreds of thousands of posts through trained machine learning that detects the different types of engagement bait. For example, when you try to see these spam emails, the social engineering, and the junk mails, what you do here, they'll try to they'll try to understand this. They'll try to understand these different. They will try to understand these different engagement bites, and then they'll try to filter them. That is that the Gmail, the Outlook, or else any type of emails, any type of email spammers that you do here, internally behind the scenes, there are some barriers that will be fighting in order to see, okay, what exactly are these, what exactly are the mails that are coming in, and then they will classify, and then they'll try to block those particular things. So block this particular post or block these particular things is something that we try to do with the help of this engagement bites, basically, right? This is what we try to do them here. Okay, this is what we try to do here in this particular data fed to the machine, and GF will be replaced, scans the keywords and passwords, and then this particular thorough right here. Okay. Now, what is machine learning here? Science of making the computers learn. Science of making the computers learn means science of making your machines learn by feeding the data and information without being explicitly programmed. Without being explicitly programmed. What you are doing here? This is an ordinary system with artificial intelligence and with machine learning. What they do is that they learn the lessons, they predict, and then they improve. They learn the lessons, they predict, and then they improve. It is something like this, right? Suppose you're going for the first job, or you first interview you fail, second interview you fail, third interview you fail, and then fourth interview, what you do? You try to collect all the questions that are being asked in your subject, and then you try to improvise and then try to crack the interview, right? Similarly, they learn, they predict, as well as they improves also as well. Okay, there is a difference between what is the expected result and what is the anticipated result, the real result. So between them, what much is the gap that you're having here? That gap you need to nullify in order to make sure that you need to have the correct coherence. Basically, right now in India, there are a lot of surveys that are really going on, right? India Today, G News, and all those things are going, and they are predicting BJP can have the option of getting some 400 seats. So when they try to give such type of survey, what happens here? The ideal people also, well, the ideal people also as well, what they do is that they will tend to see, hey, this is the mood of your nation, so why should we waste our vote, and why should we lapse our vote, and then let us start uh, polarize our vote to BJP also as well. They can think about, basically. Okay, so such type of social media surveys or predictions, whatever you're having here, has a lot of what we can say, has a lot of impact on the society also as well. Has a lot of impact on the society also as well. You can see a very simple nature. Uh, I think 4 months or 5 months or 6 months ago, the the bag of rice, the 20 lb of rice, which was used to be something like 14 or $15, has been some suddenly bumped to $30. $30. Why? Because there is a lack of transportation of rice from India or the Southern Asia to US. That's why they have bumped the price. So what we do, we are eventually habituated to buy the rice for $30 or $28. Okay. Now the exports are come down and then everything is back to normal. But did they slash down the prices? No. Even when you go to the Indian superstore, the price of your rice happens to be your $30 only, only that we have to pay basically. So these are all the things, right? We learn, we predict, and then these guys will try to predict when it is going to be the shortage of the supplies that are going to be there. Accordingly, they improve their decisions and then they'll try to make the business better, right? That's how this machine learning is going to help in every arena, whether it is healthcare. There are so many doctors in this group also as well. Uh, we have this healthcare. Uh, who is that guy? Like there's something like healthcare, in finance sector, in banking, insurance, investments. These are all the places where machine learning plays a very wide role here. And one more thing, for example, I told you, right, when the stock prices will increase or decrease, when the stock prices will increase or yes, I told you, right, Dr. I think Chandrasekhar, he's from Saudi Arabia. I think I don't know. I think, he's from Geetham's Vizag. And yeah, so healthcare also, we have these things that are really happening. So do you want to predict a category? Yes, this is a classification. Like for instance, when the stock price will increase or decrease, if you want to predict, this is the place where machine learning will come into the picture. The Tesla prices when you see, or the Disney prices when you see, uh, what is really happening, you understand. That tells you the mood of the market at this particular point of time. Similarly, do you want to predict a quantity? For example, predicting this particular picture, I don't tell you the age. Okay, predicting the age of the person based on the height, weight, health, and other factors. You can try to predict the age. That is what is called as regression. That is basically treated as regression. And then the third option, what you're having, the third category, what you're having is that you are putting a card, or else uh, if you want to detect this withdrawal anomalies, like who are all the fraudulent players who are trying to um, what we can say, who are trying to do this particular fraud, want to find out, you'll be able to find out here. This is what is the anomaly detection. See, there is a difference between data science and machine learning. Data science only will find out the hidden insights of your data in order to make the better decisions. But this machine learning, what it is doing here, it is allowing you to do this predictions. It is allowing you to make a forecast. It is allowing you to make better decision making, right? Better decision making. How it is making here? It is based on this one as we train these models. We train these particular models in order to learn. They predict and then they improve. Basically, that's how this is really going to help you in order to. So that's why the next advantage from data engineer to machine data scientist is your ML. That is the place where ML is going to be there. Basically, we are going to have three things. One is classification, trying to classify whether the price will increase or not, and then regression, trying to find out your numerical ages. Basically, this is the second thing, and third thing what you are having here is that anomaly detection. This is what where these things are really going to be helpful for you, right? Machine learning. And machine learning is also a subset of your artificial intelligence also as well, which you'll be seeing in very shortly here also as well. Okay. Now, now one more thing is that finding the groups of the customers with the similar behavior given the large database of customers containing their past buying records. I just want to group who are the people that are interested in buying these cosmetics, who are the people that are buying in these garments, who are the people that are interested in this sportswear. When I want to do this such a type of classification, then this is what is called as your clustering. Do you want to discover the structure in your unexplored data? That is what is your clustering that we can say here. Okay, these are all the things that are going to be useful. One is clustering, then you have this anomaly detection, we have this regressions, and then we have these classifications. Those are all the things that are going to be the best parts of your machine learning here. So supervised, reinforcement, and then unsupervised learning. These are the different types of machine learning what we do. We are not really going into the technical definitions. We are trying to see the examples in order to give you a good feel of what exactly is this machine learning about. For example, supervised learning, what we do is that we train this particular model with this model training, and then we'll give all this particular data and we'll tell, if you see this one, this is a circle. If you see these four things, this is a square. If you see this triangle, this is a triangle. We try to model this one here. Okay. When we start modeling, what is really going to happen here? The prediction is going to happen here. And then when you view the new data, what it is going to do here, it will tell you something like this is a square and this is a circle. This is what is called as this supervised learning. This type of learning, what you are having here is nothing but the supervised learning here in this place. Okay, we give the input here. Okay, now in the case of unsupervised learning, this is the contrary. What it does here, I don't give any input. I don't give any input. What it does here, I give all this one here, all these particular shapes I'll give, and then I'll ask them to classify. That means that it finds the hidden pattern in the unlabeled data. Here, unsupervised learning is unlabeled data, and then the supervised learning, what you're having here is nothing but the labeled data that you're going to have. How are we going to do? That is something that will be seen in the bootcamp. Okay. So in unsupervised learning, machine learning finds the hidden pattern in that particular data. Basically, it finds the hidden pattern in that particular data. That is nothing but your unsupervised learning, basically. Okay. Then the third thing what we do is that when we try to go here, we'll be able to do something like reinforcement learning. We learn by experiences. We learn by experiences. What is that learning by experience here? The learning by experience is something like, hey, I'm going to do an action. I'm going to this environment, and then I hit the fire. I touch the fire. Then I understand what is my new state, and then after some time I'll come back. Next time when I go, I don't touch that fire because I have learned from the previous experiences, right? Since when I learn from these previous experiences, I'll be able to understand whether it will make me comfortable or uncomfortable. Then based on that one, I'll try to learn. Is another type of learning where the agent learns how to behave in an environment by performing actions and seeing the results. By performing the actions and then seeing the results. That's why I want you. That's why I want you. If you try to take this environment as data science, okay, Kavita madam, don't come to this place and then go away. Get into this one. Feel how exactly this data science is going to be, and then you will be amazed. You'll be amazed here. That's the reason. Reinforcement learning is an important type of machine learning. Okay. What you do is that you'll be able to understand how to behave this environment and then how to see these particular results is something that we can try to see for this reinforcement learning. Okay. So that's why these are all the things here. Non-labeled data, no feedback, and then finding the hidden structure in the data. This is the labeled feedback. This is your direct feedback, and this is what is your prediction of this particular output here in this case. Okay. So this is what is your machine learning. So any questions with respect to data science and machine learning? See, data science is basically used to find the hidden patterns. Okay. Using those particular hidden patterns, what I do is that I learn, and then what I do is that I'll be able to do those predictions. Such type of predictions is something that we try to do with the help of the ML. So that's why who can do those insights and the data mining, that guy is the data scientist. But who will give that structure to those insights and then trying to make them implemented in the form of your machines? That particular person is nothing but the ML engineer. That guy is basically treated as this ML engineer, who is nothing but your machine learning engineer in this particular case. So far, I have not talked anything in terms of technicalities. Just we are just trying to have the we are trying to touch the waters of your we are trying to touch the waters of your um, machine learning and data science here in this case. Okay. Now this is what is your data science. Now let us go ahead. and try to understand what we do here. What is machine learning? What is deep learning? And then what is artificial intelligence? This is the place where artificial intelligence is going to come into the picture. And then let us try to understand what are the major differences that you can see here. Major differences that you can see here. Okay. So artificial intelligence example, as I have told, right? Hey Alexa, what is the temperature of this temperature in Chicago? Then what it does here, you give this Amazon Echo, it voice converts into the command voices, and then it gives the output. This is what is your artificial intelligence example. Current temperature is 6 degrees Fahrenheit. That is something that it gives you in the form of this one. Okay. Now, when you go to your machine learning example, see here, user searches for something in Google. User searches for something in the Google. User selects one of the first link and then spends some time there. Okay. When you're finding something over there, when the time period what you are spending is going to be greater than something like 5 minutes or 5 seconds, something of the sort, Google understands the user got what was required. What was required. And machines are trying to learn based on your behavior on the web, based on your behavior on the web. And then user goes to the second and third page. When the user goes to the second and third page, what happens here? That means that he is not interested in the first page, and then Google understands that user requirements was not satisfied. So it is learning, it is doing the difference. Artificial intelligence replaces the humans. Okay, instead of asking your friend what is the temperature, you can directly ask Alexa and then ask her. It is responding to you, right? That means that it is see here, it is trying to respond to you, and then trying to give some intelligence artificially to your machine. That is what is your artificial intelligence. Machine learning is trying to predict the things basically. Deep learning is something else. We'll be seeing that one. This is artificial intelligence. This is your machine learning. And then when you try to go to this deep learning, this is one thing. I give a black and white image, and then what I do is that I want to color this one to this like this. Color this one here. And then what it is doing here, black and white image, it is searching the web and available data to recognize those features. Suppose if the ball is there, okay, what it will do here, it will search the web to find that particular ball, okay. Once it finds that particular ball, it will try to map the color to a particular object, okay. And one more thing is that it will not directly color that ball basically over there. What it does, in the behind the screen, behind the background, you're having something like granary is there basically, right? Granary. So it will try to find out what would be the image for that particular granary. So it will, for those streets and all, it will try to put a green color. After putting all some green color, when you try to put something like this, then what happens here? It will be able to see something like green and green will be totally mixed up, right? So it will not be visible. So that's why it will try to come up with some contrary colors, basically. That is one thing. And second thing is that you have this t-shirt like this, which is having something, some edges are there here. Then what it will do here? It will go here and then try to find out what would be the perfect map for this one, and then it is doing here. And what it is doing here, it is just like our brain is having so many millions and millions of neurons. Okay, what it will do is that it will try to do a lot of learning here. It will try to do a lot of learning with advanced quantum computing, and then it will try to come up with such type of these colors here. This is what is called as convolutional neural networks, what we call convolutional neural networks that we call here. And then it will be able to give you this one here in this case. It will be able to give you this one in particular case here. This is what is your convolutional neural networks here in this case basically. This is what is your deep learning, which is, see, machine learning, what you're having here is having its own limitations. Okay. So machine learning, what you're having here is having its own limitations. I said, thank you for the very much information. I'd like to know if there is any online training. Yes, sir. We are going to do that one, Suresh. Please hold on. I'll be showing you. Okay. So here, this is the place where you try to do this deep learning exercise in this particular case. Deep learning exercise in this case here. Okay. Now, human versus artificial intelligence. When you go here, human intelligence, what it does here, use information to take decisions, communicate with people, identify patterns, remember what people have said, and then adapt to this particular new situations here. Adapt that particular new situations here. Okay. But when you go into this artificial intelligence, what it does here, AI develops computer systems that can accomplish the tasks that require human intelligence in warfields, okay, in satellites, okay, wherever you go, all these particular things are coming. Even when you go to the hotels and the restaurants also as well, there is a place where these robots are really coming into the picture here. Provides more accurate results, interacts with humans with their natural language. That is a place where NLP comes into the picture, and then learn from the mistakes and adapt to these new environments, learn from the data, and then automates repetitive learning here, basically, in this case. This is what is your artificial intelligence, AI, what we call. Okay. Now, here, let us try to see one more example here. Say you had some time to waste. Okay. There are cars going on the road, and then the time is at 12 o'clock. So the time is something like 6 hours. So you want to get a whole lot of time passes by, and then you're going on here, and suddenly wonder how many trucks, buses, and everything pass in the next in the 6 hours. How many things has passed there? Then what will you do here? In this machine learning, you try to feed with respect to this data. What is this type of learning here? This type of learning is nothing but the supervised learning model being trained on these particular features, learning and comparing these particular features, and then what you're doing is that you're trying to provide this particular output like this. When you train your machines, it will be able to tell you the output basically. Okay. So 10, 15, 30, and 5 and 40 here. This is what is your machine learning here in this particular case. So what it does, it will identify the type of the tires, the headlights, the handles, and all these particular things, and then it will say this is a bicycle or this is a car, like that. They'll try to identify. These labeled features with the important features are being highlighted. How are we going to model these things? That is a place where mathematical modeling and statistical things are expected to come into the picture. Mathematical modeling and statistics modeling is expected to come into the picture. That is a place where this is going to be coming here in this particular case here. Deep learning, I have told you, right? What it is here? Large and reliable data. See, machine learning, you are only having three. In machine learning, you are only having three. But when you go to this deep learning, you're having so many. Here, you're having something like neurons of networks are there. Neurons of networks are there. And using this particular neurons of networks, what we'll be doing is that it will be providing that required output, and then you'll be able to classify them, these things like this. There is a difference between the complexity, the computing power, and all the other things what you're going to have is going to dictate the features what you're going to do as a part of your machine learning and deep learning basically. So determines what objects are present in the form of this neural networks here in this case here. This is like a scanner. It goes through all these networks, neural networks, and then it provides uh, trucks, bus data, and all these particulars, and then it will give you the information. So the natural language processing or the natural language processing, the neural networks, and then these are all the features that will be used as a part of your deep learning here, and everything is really going to be implemented using Python. So machine learning, the system is able to make predictions based on the past data with all the data what you are giving here, manage large amounts of data, analyze complex big data also as well with respect to these things here. Deep learning using artificial neural networks. This is like a brain that we are putting here. Brain here. We are not putting that brain here, but we are trying to put a brain in order to make sure that it is a subset of your machine learning. But again, lesser testing time here. Best features selected by this particular system here. Performance improves with more data in this particular case here. Performance improves with more data in this particular case. So you see here, AI with machine learning and this deep learning. So an approach to create artificial intelligence is machine learning used in achieving deep learning also as well. So machine learning versus AI versus deep learning, or AI versus, people will be confused here basically. Which one we need to use? But the solution is AI with machine learning and deep learning. So that's why here we don't have a choice. In data engineering and data analyst, we have a choice. What is the choice? The choice is something like, hey, do I do this data engineering, or do I need to limit it only to this data analytics? Prabhakar garu. But here we don't have any choice. What is the choice? Is that it is not AI versus machine learning or deep learning. It is AI with machine learning with the deep learning is something that you have to stay through basically. Okay, a collection of translation of your hard written printed data to your digital form is your deep learning. The data is being analyzed. Tags in the test determine this genre, in what genre this particular book is there. This is what is your machine learning, this test mining. Genre is identified. And then having the robot give the books to these patterns. This is the artificial intelligence. This will help you what exactly is machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. Murali Mohan, I hope you are following. So AI with machine learning. See here, these are the collection of books. Now, what I need to do here, I need to translate this handwritten or printed information to the digital form. This is the place where the deep learning is expected to come into the picture. Then, now I need to analyze that particular text in the digital text, and then I need to confirm what type of journal this books fall under. Okay, then in such a case, the tags in the data will determine this one. This one is machine learning. So all these books are stocked in this library here, and then what I do is that I give to that AI robot and then say that, can you please bring me the books of this faction journal, or else can you give me the books of your drama? Can you try to give me the books of this uh, love books or love theme books, something of the sort. When I give, it will go and then it will fetch the books and it will give. There is a place where artificial intelligence will come into the picture. Basically, artificial intelligence will come into the picture. So that's why AI with machine learning and deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of your artificial intelligence. These things will start when the spectrum of your data science ends. When the spectrum of your data science ends, artificial intelligence that thinks and acts like human being. Systems learn the things without being programmed. Machines thinks like human beings using artificial neural networks is nothing but your deep learning in this particular picture here. That's what I have told you. So this is what we have discussed in this particular time. Okay, now the thing is that how to become a data scientist. I'll just tell you very briefly here. You need to have this mathematics and statistics. You need to have this. This is the danger zone, right? The intersection of these particular zones is nothing but the data science. Okay, so first thing is that data scientists are better than the software engineers and statistics and statisticians in software engineering. Okay, so what we are going to do is that step one, you need to be having this. See, we are not really going to learn the statistics, math, and machine learning here, but what we do is that we use the backbone, and the backbone is going to be Python. Believe me or not, believe me or not, the the freshers, the experience, the DBAs, the healthcare professionals, for all these particular things, from day after tomorrow onwards, what we are going to do is that we are going to have the first set of series where we are going to learn this Python and PySpark. Okay, using this particular Python and PySpark, the mathematics, statistics, and the foundations of machine learning is going to be covered in those 6 weeks of programming, where that will make you to learn from zero to hero. In the sense, lot many people has asked, how are we going to do? You will be amazed to see that particular transformation the first 6 weeks. From fundamentals of programming, okay, till the all the dimensions of programming in Python. What are all the dimensions here? Those dimensions are going to be something like this. You start with the basic fundamentals. You're working with the databases. You will be working with the ETLs. You'll be working with the visualizations. You'll be working with the pandas, and you'll be setting the platform for learning that particular machine learning. All those particular gigantic libraries are going to be covered, so that you will be covered in that for first. I think already have shared the first boot camp series of this one. That in that one, all the fundamentals required to make you master in data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Everything is going to be covered in those first 6 weeks. You yourself will be able to see that particular transformation, how I am able to make that particular change within that 6 weeks. You'll be you'll be able to code that one in AWS, Azure, whatnot, what platform you mentioned, you'll be able to Google Collabs. That is all the place where you'll be able to code all these particular things. That is the first step that we are going to make. Improve at stats, math, and machine learning. Okay. Even if you are from a non-mathematical background, also as well, non-programming background also as well, first set is going to make the change for you. That is the first thing. Okay. And the second thing what you're having is that learn to code. That's what I told you, right? This is the learning that we are going to do. So step one and step two are going to be covered in that particular 6 weeks of programming. Then what we do is that, so the same thing, grasp end-to-end development, learn to code, and then code to learn. Choose the first language and then learn interactive. There is no first, second, or last language. There is only one language that you are going to learn, and that language is nothing but your Python with PySpark. That is the place where big data fundamentals, all those particular things are expected to come here. So that is required for all those people like data scientists, data engineers, data analysts. These are all the things that we are going to cover here in this program. Then understand these databases. Okay. Understanding the databases is something that we'll be doing as a part of the data science. Okay. There you need to have a good knowledge with respect to the data science. What is the data science here? Like MySQL or MongoDB or Cassandra. Intimately, you need to learn basically those databases basically. Not that you need to be a hardcore programmer like database engineer, something of that sort, but whatever is really required for you to program and do the scripts with respect to these particular things, you learn this particular databases. Okay. Third thing is that master data munging, visualization, and all these things. This is the place where we'll be doing this data science and machine learning boot camps again for 6 to 8 weeks, which is the series two. Series two, where we are going to learn this one here in step four. What you are going to learn here? We'll be leveling up with this particular big data also as well. As a data scientist, what is really required using the same Python what you have covered in series one and the machine learning, all those particular classification, regression, anomaly detection, and all those particular algorithms will be seeing programmatically with Python and all those different cloud service providers. I proudly say I uniquely teach this particular machine learning Python scripts both in AWS and Azure also as well, basically. Okay, that's how we are going to manage these particular things. Then leveling up that particular big data. Then distributed processing. I told you, right? This is the same thing that you are going to do within Spark also as well. Then meet another data scientist. What you are really having here. So every year I used to have the capability, the opportunity of going to the seminars and conferences, and then trying to form a network with respect to your peers in order to make up your journey into the data science basically in this case, and then practice math make project, join the competitors, have a perfect project, sharpen intuition is something that is going to be there, and then this is the place where you intern, you boot camp, and then get a job. In case if you want to really transform, take the bull by your arms basically to face that one, getting hide and finally you do the things. Once you do all the things, join this community. This is the learning steps. So basically, I'm going to do this one in a 4 series of boot camps. I told, right? First boot camps only talks about Python and Spark, PySpark. Second boot camp is going to be your machine learning and data science. Third boot camp is going to be your artificial intelligence. Okay. And fourth boot camp is going to be your deep learning and NLP, natural language processing. So these are all the 4 things that we are going to do in this particular 4 boot camps. Okay. In a series, not simultaneously. The first boot camp completes, then the second one. Even the fee or the whatever what is going to be there, that is going to be decided per boot camp. If you successfully complete, then join the second one. If you successfully complete, then join the third one. Like fourth one, we are going to do it in a series, and that would be the good. So the whole program is going to be for 4 months to 4.5 months to 5 months, and within these months, wherever you are having, starting from zero, if you want to get into that AI space, including Gen AI and all those particular things, that is a place where we are going to have this complete boot camp that is totally dedicated for this particular piece here. Okay. So these are all the steps that we are going to do. And finally, once you become a data scientist at some point of time, like all those people, my dear friend Murli Mohan and Ravi Kumar M, and then all the people like Kavit and all those particular people, you can finally say thanks to Ravi Kumar and that's how it is going to be, basically. Okay, so that's what I thought of making you comfortable with respect to this path here. What exactly is going to be covered? We have uh, the we covered the challenges. We covered the what we did. We covered the challenges as well as we covered the data science features. We covered all these particular things, and all these particular things, what I have told you here is something that we are going to cover as a part of this particular program. So, so here, when you try to see, go back and then try to rewind the things, what you have seen here, you will be able to see these things here. So the first one is that from the current slide, you will be able to see why this data science. As I told you, right? This is the data revolution, insights from chaos, and then the art of prediction is something why the data science is going to be. And accordingly, you're going to have this artificial intelligence, why machines, where machines read. We'll be teaching about this narrow, general, and super intelligence also. We are going to cover it as a part of this particular part. And then we'll be covering this ML, unleash the recommendation systems with all these reinforcement things that we are going to cover in this particular piece. And the deep learning with this neural symphony is going to be covered here. And finally, this is the career that we are going to have in order to make us as unsung heroes behind these data-driven decisions. Basically, that is the place where the Odyssey begins, the data journey begins, where AI, ML, and DL are not just the buzzwords. These are the keys unlocking your future with multiple possibilities of boundless. And uh, if you want to make this particular magic, I want the people who want to be the serious parts of this particular journey like never before, like never before, with respect to myself in this particular DS, AL, ML, and AI bootcamp. Like these are the three types of bootcamps that we are going to cover in this particular program. That's what we are going to do here. So I'll open the podium for discussions and question and answers, whatever you are having here. And again, I'm telling you, there are people who have come in order to really understand what exactly is these particular things. And there are a section of the people who really want to, like Sushma and all these particular people, who really want to get into this particular spectrum and having a commitment of 4 months to 5 months in order to learn these particular things step by step, where you can test what you have learned, like ML engineer and something of the sort, and where you want to go to. That is the second thing. And in case if you have any questions, whether if I can really help you out in order making this particular careers. See, basically, I'm Ravi, and almost many of the people know here. I do run a lot of boot camps with testing. I do a lot of boot camps with Snowflake, Databricks, Azure, AI, sorry, AWS data engineering and data analytics. Okay. And from my series, the next one that I'm going to launch from Wednesday, that is on 13th from US time or 14th Indian time, is going to be this particular series in a separate thing. So these four boot camps go parallelly: testing, AI, and then Azure data engineering, and then AWS data engineering and data analytics goes parallelly, basically. Okay. So that's it from my side. And before I do my concluding remarks, in case if you have any particular questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer to the best extent what I can.
Ravi garu, this is Prabhakar. And what would be the timings would be like?
Timings would be from CLA from Monday, from Wednesday onwards.
Mhm.
Timings would be from tomorrow onwards. Sorry, from tomorrow onwards, 8 to 9, 8 to 9 EST is going to be this one. The data science, machine learning, Python will go. 9 to 10 is going to be your AWS data engineering and data analytics, and 10 to 11 is going to be your Azure data engineering. That's how it is going to be planned. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, and 10 to 11. This will go from 8 to 9 EST, which is 5:30 to 6:30, 5:30 to 6:30 IST, basically. Yeah.
So that 8 to 9 is EST time, right?
8 to 9 is EST time. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. 8 to 9 is going to be purely EST time. Yes.
Is it morning or evening, Andy?
PM and PM. PM.
Okay, thank you.